that's different than having, a third party pay for you to come play football at your school. And right now, that's really what's happening, So that's the challenging part of the whole deal. But I think the revenue sharing piece is a very important part of where we're going. How that looks, we got to figure it out, So I know I said quite a bit there, but I want to protect the educational part of what we're doing. And I want to make sure we do a great job of, having a more equitable situation with some type of a cap to be able to allow it to where it's not just out of control spending.
I just wanted to follow up on
What does it mean to have the last two guys from your 2018 class be representing Indiana here today? Do you remember first meeting Aaron and Noah? Did you have any stories from when you?
Well, here's pretty cool about Noah. So he was committed to Miami, Ohio. Okay, and so undersized guy that I know some say, man, this guy's too small. I'll tell you what, there was just something about him that I knew was special. And matter of fact, my wife, she reminded me of this. She said, you told me this kid's going to be a really special player, even though he was not, I mean, we might have been his only Power 5 offer, but the toughness he showed in high school, the grit that I thought he had, I was right. I mean, there's just something special about that kid, and he persevered 3 years as a backup and playing on special teams and not getting to play a ton on defense and just being a sub, and that was hard for him, and he just stayed the course, and he stayed the course, and he kept battling, and so proud of him for being able to really prove that, man, he did have something special in him, and he is a really, really talented player. Yeah, he's undersized, but man, that what's inside of him, which you can never measure, is huge. And so that's why he's here today. And his teammates love him, they respect him. He's going to help us a ton this year. And then Aaron Casey, he was high school safety. We saw him, we said, we think you're going to be a linebacker. And he's obviously playing in the high safety position the whole time. He never played in the box much. And so you got to teach him those things. And so he had a little bit to learn from that. But, he's just such a consistent, hard-working guy. He obviously won the 44 number for Raising for George Talafaro. That's a special honor to have. And so to have those two guys to show tremendous leadership and perseverance and stay the course through the ups and downs of what they've been through since they've been here is pretty special. So couldn't have two better guys representing this program and just representing the grit and perseverance that IU football is all about.
Say about Jalen Lucas that in this Wild West environment, he said, I'm going to stay the course and stay at IU, when obviously it could have turned out different.
Let me tell you this. So the season ended. All right, this just shows you how things have changed, right? So as soon as we were done, okay, I made a home visit to his house, okay? And so, because I knew how special he was.
You went down to home?
I went down home. I flew down there and I met with his parents. And, usually you do that for recruits. you do home visits when you're recruiting. Well, we had to, make sure that he knew that we were going to do a great job of helping him be rewarded for, his performance. He's a first-team All-American. That's pretty special now. As a true freshman, that doesn't happen very often. And so, but you know what? That's a relationship piece. They trust us, we trust them. And I get it. I mean, that's the neat part of, this whole opportunity. Is he's able to do some things and be a part of some things now that are really helping this family. And they're really good people, and they, it's been a huge blessing for them to be able to have this opportunity. So that excites me. But you know what? I knew what I had to do, because you can say that, but if we don't do anything with it, we're going to lose them, and that's the new world that we're in right now. And so that's a really special part of what we have, but we got to be willing and understanding of that, and our school stepped up and responded, and that's the case for several other guys as well. And so I want to be able to do that for as many guys as possible, because to me, this is a window of time to help them and be able, it's not a generational situation financially, but it also is something that can be a real blessing and encouragement to them and help them do some things they couldn't do in the past.
I just want to follow up.
I asked Noah over there why he chose IU and then why he chose to stay with IU after those 3 years, and his answer was you, Tom Allen's answer was that. What does that mean to you as a coach?
Well, I feel the same way about him. He's the reason why I do what I do, is to find special guys like that gave me a great opportunity to come to the Big Ten when maybe nobody else saw something special in him, and poured into his life, and he's responded. And he's matured so much. He's always been a great kid, but just to see him stay the course and grow, it means a lot. It really does. And in this day and age, when guys can just go wherever they want to go, that's I take it personal when they leave. It hurts, and I get it. I'm not trying to, say, but I've heard a lot of coaches say that. I mean, it's who we are. I care about our guys, and I want everybody to be able to come here and have a maximized opportunity and experience. But I get it. Only so many guys can play, all the time. And so, but I just, once again, just kind of reminds you why you do what you do, and be able to bring a guy like that here and and see him be rewarded for his perseverance is pretty cool.
Did you say, it sounded like you were saying there's kind of been a shift with donations being shifted more towards NIL and away from like facilities and, the department as a whole. Is that a paradigm you're seeing across college football?
It is, and because here's the thing, I mean, it's, I was raised in the church, so I'll just give you a little bit of a parallel. So when you're, as a kid growing up, your church does a building fund, all right? So they start raising money to build a new building, right? Well, you're just asking the same people to give the money, so usually that money increases in that fund, and then the other ones go down, right? Well, it's no different. So you got all this money you're having people give to Indiana University, like every college has, every university has, and so you're dealing with the same people. Well, you know what? They may not have any increase in their resources, so they're just going to give, less here and more over here, So, and that's kind of a restructuring of how do you want people, where do you want to direct them? And to me, I get it. You got to fund your scholarships and you got to fund NIL. That to me should be the focus right now. And so, fortunately for us, we've had some good. I want to see us do some things with getting our indoor renovated. There's no question about that. But I'm saying, hey, invested in those scholarships and invested in NIL. That's the message for me, and I believe that's what we should be doing.
Coaches have talked about their players getting specific offers from other teams. Do you know if Jalen Lucas got offers, or are you aware that? I'm assuming there was interest, but do you know if he got offers?
Well, let me just tell you this. So I never sat down and said, because I always tell people the truth. So I never said, have you gotten an offer from somebody else? I knew he did. Okay, I'm not. I was born at night, but not last night, okay? And so that's exactly what happened. But that's why I was down there as soon as I could to be able to get with that family, get in front of them, and just show them how we felt about him and what we're going to try to be able to do, okay? So, but that's just how it is now. The tampering piece is going on, and it is bad, okay? And so I'm not going to sit here and get on, but at the same time, I want to do the best job. All I can control is create an environment that they want to be part of. And so when we have an individual like that, we got to make sure we're being proactive. And so, it's just the nature of what it is right now. We just got to be aggressive and don't assume anything.
Coach, if I could follow up on something you said earlier about NIL, you said there needed to be a cap. Are you speaking for a program, and why do players need to have their earnings capped if that's what you're
Well, I'm just saying that if the NFL, all right, had a situation where, and this is really very, very true, okay? If you could put whatever you wanted to put into your roster, okay? And you got 32 teams, okay? You would not have a very good product at the end of the day. You're gonna have one group that's got way up here, and you got all different things. And so to me, from a revenue sharing perspective, I can see that being a situation where because we all receive the same amount of money from the TV revenue. Now, where a young man earns from a true NIL perspective, I don't think that's just whatever your value is what you get. But I'm talking about when you have, because right now, the schools can't put any of their money towards NIL, okay? And I think that needs to change. I really do. Now, that's just me, that's my opinion. So you asked me, I told you. And so, but that to me needs to be set. You come and play in the Big Ten, this is what you get. You play in this conference, this is what you get. And it's based off revenue that your program gets. Now, you may be able to say, you get a lump sum of money and you can be able to distribute it, however you choose to. I get that. But the amount that you get will be consistent. That to me is what I'm talking about.
When you talk about NIL and revenue sharing, and I recognize there's not a perfect answer to the question.
There's not.
Do you sense that that's a near-term development, possibly moving to revenue sharing? And how do you almost sort of plan for that when you're trying to talk to kids and they want to talk about NIL, they want to talk about those opportunities, but there's maybe something else out there on the horizon that might add a layer to it?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because I've actually had some conversations with some families about that, and I would say more of our younger guys. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen next year. I don't see that, but something has to give. And I'm kind of passionate about this because I'm like, this is the direction that we're going, and this is going to affect the whole future of our game. So I feel like for the next couple of years, something's going to have to be, changed by the current system. And so I've talked to parents openly about I see this coming down the pipe, as far as that opportunity for guys. And so we'll see if I'm right or not. But I just know the current system right now has got to be addressed, and I think everybody agrees with that. Everybody I've talked to that really doesn't. Now, the answers are hard, and there's not a lot of clear ones because it's a very complex issue. But at the same time, I think keeping it in-house, from the universities is a big part of that. Protecting the academic focus that we need to have, and making sure we do a great job of having as much competitive balance as we can, because that creates the best product. That makes football exciting to watch. When you got a lot of teams that have opportunity to be in the mix for a 12-team playoff, which is, I think, a really awesome future for college football. I just know that right now we're headed in a direction where there's a lot of inequity, and that makes it really, really challenging. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Tom.
Have an awesome day.